Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Around the Association. Now, Ja Morant is back on the court now, and recently, Max Kellerman, Keyshawn Johnson, and Jason Williams spoke in regards to his return to the court, where when Jason Williams actually says the NBA got it wrong with his suspension only being 8 games. Now, he says the NBA could have taken a harder stance to really set a precedent that Ja's type of behavior is not going to be allowed. Take a listen right here at what Jason Williams had to say.
Everybody makes mistakes. I think we're all willing to say this is a learning opportunity for Ja. But I will say this. I do believe the NBA missed the mark on his suspension. I thought he should have been suspended for the rest of the regular season without pay, and his return should have been subject to successful counseling from the NBA. I think whenever you involve guns and alcohol and all this other stuff, I think there's a high standard that needs to be set in the bar that needs to be set around the league and setting that kind of example. And now come back and play in the playoffs, but I thought the punishment was a little bit too lenient.
Man, so Jason Williams, wow. He thinks Ja did not serve enough time away from the team. I mean, they gave him 8 games, 8 game suspension, and coming back they had, around, I think they have around 10, 11, maybe even 12 games left. So he wanted a 20-game suspension because he did say, hey, let him back at the playoffs. He would be good to go then. Now, Jason Williams then turned and said that he was talking about Ja and him and Max got into a debate, and even Keyshawn, where Jason Williams doesn't believe that Ja's going to get the opportunity to be the face of the league. Before it was a matter of, Ja Morant. Is he going to be the face? Is it going to be Luka Doncic? At one point Zion, but Zion doesn't stay healthy long enough to even really make that claim. So really, for the new faces of the league, the NBA were really starting to get behind Ja Morant. You're starting to see a lot more Memphis primetime games and Luka Doncic. Now, Max kind of disagreed with Jay in regards to that. But did admit that there will be an uphill battle for Ja Morant. Take a listen here.
I think as long as Ja's learned from these situations that he has a chance to win on the court and just keep press at a minimum, only focus on basketball.
Keeping press at a minimum is interesting because when people are looking at you and how many months ago was it? That's the next face of the NBA, right? That was one of the candidates. Maybe there were 2 or 3. Him or Luka, maybe 1 or 2 other guys, maybe. And that's when the press comes. That's when you want more press. You want to raise the image, right? You want him, but so being the face of a league has much more to do with merely being the best player or the most exciting player. It's how you handle all that media. And now what we see is it's going to be a road for Ja. By the way, I wouldn't say he could never become the face of the NBA yet. But by the way, he already put himself up against the wall in this sense. But it's not impossible. But there's a long road ahead, right? First, you got to get back on the court. You have to have success. You have to stop messing up. And then eventually, as you said, Jay, try to limit media exposure. Media exposure is going to have to rise again. It's going to be more of it, and more of it.
Yeah, I know it's a privacy matter. I am curious. So when he said this is an ongoing issue, I would like to have heard about here are certain things that I'm doing to address that in that ongoing issue.
So let me know what you guys think, man. Jason Williams feels like Ja can never be the face of the league and should have been suspended even longer than he actually was. And I don't know. I kind of see his point. I'm not sure what those extra games would help, but I understand keeping him out of the public eye and giving him a longer time to kind of sit and stew on his bad decisions give them at least, a month or so in counseling, You know, because I mean, he was down only in there, you know, a couple of days at the most, 2 or 3 days before he was summoned to Adam Silver's, you know, to his offices up in New York. Ja is, you know, he's still marquee as far as the NBA. Let's be honest. The most exciting player they have going right now is Ja Morant. So no matter what you say about Luka, Ja Morant is a bigger ticket draw when you're talking about excitement to watch. So he's really the front runner, you know, as the face of the NBA, or he was prior to this incident. I mean, he just got his signature shoe. He was part of Powerade's, you know, campaign to really relaunch the brand, and they chose him specifically. So he was about to be the face of just so many national brands and the NBA. Hopefully he can kind of come back from this. I don't like to see any young man kind of miss out on opportunities. So I'm rooting for the brother. I'm rooting for his crowd. I know him and his pops, his family. They came out with the redemption t-shirts and, you know, redeeming everybody. Like a comeback story is really good. And now you have the power to kind of rewrite that. Like, you know, what was fun before can't continue to be your go-to. My thing is, you know, slowly, not that you can't have fun, but kind of slowly, I would back up from the club scene, even in the off season. This off season, please, no matter what happens, if we win the championship, if we get knocked out in the first, second, third, whatever, this off season here, I'm dedicating it to giving back. I'm going to different mental health institutions, how to get help and cope. I may do a docu-series behind it and get it released on a streaming platform about my search, because you have to, first of all, for his own well-being, but also you can't just get better. You have to show them you're doing it in order to kind of get back in the mainstream good graces. But that's how I see it, man. Let me know what you guys think. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm gonna holler at you next time. Peace.